normal people. And what I talked about with my therapist the other day was I'm having a hard time opening up because...
Y'all, brace yourselves, because what I'm about to reveal will shatter everything you thought you knew about Porsha Williams. For years, she's lived her life under the unforgiving glare of the public eye. Every heartbreak, every relationship dissected, every move turned into entertainment. But nothing prepared the world for this. The revelation that Porsha, after declaring she wanted to heal and be whole before loving again, is now publicly involved with a woman, Patrice Sway McKinney. And it's not just a casual dating story. This is a high-profile, explosive shift that fans never saw coming. From her whirlwind marriages to Cordell Stewart, Dennis McKinley, and Simon Guobadia, Porsha's history has always been intense, emotionally charged, and at times controversial. She defined herself through men, sought validation, and navigated betrayal and heartbreak in front of millions. But now, she has turned the page in the most shocking way yet, opening a chapter with Patrice, a successful entrepreneur and salon mogul, in a romance that has divided the internet into two camps, defenders praising her authenticity, and critics calling it reckless and impulsive. Sources close to the scene claim that this relationship is more than just affection. It's a bold public statement, a defiance against scrutiny, and perhaps a risk that could backfire. Reality show clips, past flirtations, and private texts hint that Porsha's attraction to women isn't new, but making it public now has ignited whispers, heated debates, and the looming threat of leaks, legal implications, and scandalous exposure. Fans are reeling. Some are celebrating her freedom to live authentically. Others are accusing her of repeating past mistakes in a dangerous, high-stakes gamble. And the child? The ripple effects of constant emotional pivots are already stirring concern. The drama is far from over. This is only the opening act. And trust me, the next chapter is set to be darker, more shocking, and completely unpredictable.
Seriously, in my mind, I'm like, surely it's not Porsha. Like, this bitch right here knows she get more than a little bit. I mean, she's definitely hooked up with women, definitely. If she gets drunk, she becomes an aggressive lesbian.
Right.
Aggressive. Like,
Buckle up, because what you're about to hear will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about Porsha Williams. The reality star whose life has unfolded under relentless public scrutiny has taken yet another shocking turn, and this one is poised to rewrite the narrative completely. After publicly declaring that she needed time to heal, to become whole, before stepping into love again, Porsha has stunned the world by revealing a romance that is as unexpected as it is headline-grabbing. Patrice Sway McKinney, a powerhouse entrepreneur, educator, and licensed master barber, has emerged as the woman at the center of this explosive story, and their relationship has ignited a firestorm across social media, gossip circles, and the court of public opinion. For years, Porsha's personal life has been a continuous roller coaster, a relentless series of highs and lows that the public has consumed voraciously. Her marriages and relationships, first with Cordell Stewart, then Dennis McKinley, and most recently Simon Guobadia, have all carried their own layers of betrayal, heartbreak, and emotional turbulence. Each partnership was dissected, each misstep broadcast, and each reunion or breakup examined through the harsh lens of fame. What makes this latest chapter so shocking is not just the shift from men to women, but the speed, the audacity, and the very public way in which she embraced it. The Instagram posts, the carousel of images, the affectionate videos, everything screams confidence, authenticity, and defiance. But underneath that veneer lies a complex, emotionally charged reality that most viewers are only beginning to understand. Sources close to the matter suggest that Porsha's pivot toward Patrice is more than a fleeting attraction. This is a deliberate, highly public statement of autonomy and control, a way to reclaim her narrative before gossip can distort it. Yet, as dramatic as the revelation is, whispers of prior flirtations, suggestive interactions on reality shows, and leaked text exchanges indicate that this attraction is rooted in patterns that fans have observed for years. Reality TV has never painted a fully accurate picture, but it has long hinted at Porsha's fluidity and her willingness to explore desire in ways that defy conventional expectation.
there was a girl and girl kiss between she and I that she initiated. This was like 2 years ago. And she invited us to her hotel. Now, when she said what she said, it pissed me off because I was like, you're lying or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, everybody's going to assume that she's telling the truth because obviously, you know, I have bedroom candy. They assume that I'm so freaky. You know that. So I went back 2 years and I found a text from her that was after that night, talking about that night. Oh, we was turned up and we didn't actually take her up on her offer. Let me say that. Okay. The kiss just happened. Let me be clear. You know, it didn't go further than that. But, we were having fun. Like, she came at us. She asked us to come with her to the after hours spot. Oh. We never asked.
The online reaction has been explosive. Loyal followers have lauded her bravery, claiming she is finally living her truth unapologetically. Critics have pounced, framing the relationship as impulsive, unstable, and emblematic of the same emotional recklessness that has characterized her past romances. Discussions rage across forums, comment sections, and Twitter threads, with each side citing her previous history to validate their narrative. Some argue that Porsha's constant search for fulfillment mirrors the frenetic pace of her public life, a life in which every decision is scrutinized, every move cataloged, and every vulnerability broadcast. The stakes have never been higher, and the drama is far from contained. Porsha's daughter, caught in the eye of the storm, represents another layer of the story that is rarely discussed openly. Children internalize change differently. Stability is a language they understand, while constant emotional pivots, public disclosures, and shifting attachments can be confusing, destabilizing, and potentially damaging. Experts in child psychology warn that growing up in a household that is simultaneously on display and in constant flux creates long-term challenges, and Porsha's choices, while empowering for herself, carry consequences that extend far beyond her own life. The juxtaposition of personal liberation and familial responsibility amplifies the tension, creating a scenario that is emotionally fraught and ripe for public speculation. Legal experts and insiders caution that the potential for leaks, private footage, or text messages becoming public is extremely high. This is not mere gossip. There are real stakes, including privacy issues, potential defamation claims, and the scrutiny of contracts and agreements tied to her reality TV appearances. Every post, every public comment, and every Instagram story is now evidence in a larger, ongoing narrative that blurs the line between entertainment, personal freedom, and public accountability. This convergence of fame, romance, and legal risk makes the story not only compelling but dangerous, a minefield in which one misstep could escalate into a headline-generating scandal overnight. Adding layers to this narrative is Porsha's own emotional history, meticulously documented across reality show seasons, interviews, and media appearances. Each prior betrayal, each public reconciliation, and each swift move from heartbreak to new romance has cultivated a perception of Porsha as someone intensely passionate yet perpetually searching. The revelation of her relationship with Patrice forces audiences to reconcile the past with the present. Is this genuine growth or another iteration of emotional experimentation on a global stage? The answer remains elusive, shrouded in the shadows of spectacle and the relentless appetite of fans for more drama. As the world watches, it becomes clear that this story is about far more than a single relationship. It is a study in fame, desire, and the human need for validation, magnified through the unforgiving lens of reality television. Porsha Williams is not just dating Patrice McKinney. She is navigating a labyrinth of personal authenticity, public scrutiny, and high-stakes emotion that few can truly comprehend. The drama is layered, the stakes are real, and the narrative is only beginning. Social media is alight with commentary, speculation, and outright shock. Viewers are torn between admiration and judgment, captivated by every post, every story, and every public appearance. The intensity of the moment is unparalleled, a reminder that in the world of reality fame, love is never private and the consequences are never small. And yet, the most compelling aspect of this saga is the uncertainty, the fragile balance between personal truth and public perception, between emotional risk and social reward. Porsha's journey is far from over, and the ramifications of this relationship, both for her career and her personal life, are only beginning to surface. The stakes have been raised, the audience is riveted, and the story promises twists, heartbreak, and revelations that could dominate headlines for months to come. The next chapter will test the limits of loyalty, authenticity, and resilience in ways fans have never seen before, and one thing is certain, the Porsha Williams saga is far from finished, and the world is watching, waiting, and ready to be shocked again. When the lights dim and the cameras stop rolling, the story of Porsha Williams doesn't pause, it intensifies. Behind every Instagram post, every carousel of images, there's a web of whispers, leaked texts, and private conversations that threaten to ignite a storm far larger than anything the public has witnessed before. Patrice Sway McKinney's emergence in Porsha's life was already shocking, but what insiders are revealing now paints a picture so volatile, it could upend careers, reputations, and loyalties overnight. Legal experts familiar with celebrity cases warn that private communications and reality show contracts could become combustible evidence if they surface, and with the digital age being what it is, nothing stays private for long. Friends close to the situation claim that the initial thrill of this romance masks deeper, unresolved tensions. Every move is scrutinized, every gesture dissected by fans and critics alike. The same audience that cheered Porsha's authenticity is now divided, questioning whether this relationship is an act of empowerment or a repetition of patterns that have defined her personal life for years. Reality television may have shaped her public persona, but it has also documented a history of impulsive, emotionally charged decisions that often leave chaos in their wake. And with social media magnifying every nuance, every subtle shift becomes a headline, every intimate moment a potential scandal. Meanwhile, legal insiders whisper about the risk of old recordings, private messages, and previously unseen footage surfacing. Sources claim that some reality show producers and former acquaintances hold materials that could portray Porsha in an even more controversial light, and the mere threat of such leaks has already created tension behind the scenes. Social media, as expected, has become a battlefield. Fans rally in defense, calling out critics for judgment, while detractors dissect her past relationships, alleging a pattern of impulsivity and emotional volatility. The narrative is spiraling, and the court of public opinion is relentless, unforgiving, and quick to pass judgment. Adding to the intensity is the shadow of past relationships, each one a chapter of betrayal, heartbreak, and public exposure. From Cordell Stewart to Dennis McKinley and Simon Guobadia, Porsha's romantic history is rife with emotional turbulence, infidelity claims, and public scrutiny. Each relationship has left traces, each heartbreak visible in the public record. And now, with Patrice in the frame, all eyes are searching for signs of repetition, patterns, triggers, and missteps that might foreshadow the next public spectacle. Experts note that the combination of fame, past trauma, and the constant pressure of performing authenticity in front of millions creates a volatile emotional environment, one where even small conflicts can erupt into headline-making controversies. Observers have also pointed out the high stakes for Porsha's daughter, who navigates a world of instability compounded by cameras and public attention. Children in such environments internalize the turbulence, often experiencing stress, anxiety, and confusion over shifting relationships. While Porsha seeks to live openly and authentically, the collateral impact on her child cannot be ignored, raising questions about the delicate balance between personal freedom and parental responsibility. Experts suggest that sustained exposure to high-drama public life can have lasting emotional effects, particularly when the adult at the center continues to pivot relationships and identities publicly. Meanwhile, Patrice's own presence adds layers of complexity. As a successful entrepreneur, mentor, and educator, she brings influence, visibility, and her own network into this volatile mix. Social media reactions range from celebration to skepticism, with fans dissecting every appearance, post, and interaction. The pressure is immense, as each shared moment carries the potential to be twisted, misrepresented, or weaponized by those seeking scandal. Every smile, every affectionate gesture is now viewed through the lens of public interpretation, where loyalty, authenticity, and emotional stability are constantly interrogated. What makes this narrative even darker is the psychological weight of fame itself. Porsha's life has been a relentless performance, a constant negotiation between personal desires and public expectation. The consequences of missteps are amplified, every decision magnified, and every emotional impulse broadcast. The tension between genuine personal growth and performative authenticity has never been more visible, and insiders suggest that the next few months will reveal whether this relationship is a true evolution or another chapter in a pattern of public spectacle. The stakes are staggering. Legal threats, potential leaks, emotional vulnerability, and a child's well-being all intersect with fame, desire, and public curiosity. The digital court of public opinion has already passed judgment, and the ramifications could echo far beyond Instagram posts and gossip headlines. The story of Porsha Williams and Patrice McKinney is no longer just a romance. It's a case study in the high-risk collision of private life and public scrutiny, where every secret, every message, and every decision carries the weight of potential scandal. And as the cameras continue to watch, the tension mounts, leaving fans and critics alike on the edge, anticipating the next revelation in a saga that promises heartbreak, confrontation, and drama unlike anything seen before. The social media storm surrounding Porsha Williams and Patrice McKinney has escalated into a full-blown frenzy, with every post, story, and comment dissected by millions. What began as admiration and curiosity has transformed into heated debate, speculation, and accusations, splitting online audiences into factions that are relentless and unforgiving. Fans defending Porsha praise her courage, her embrace of authenticity, and her willingness to defy societal expectations. Critics, however, argue that the relationship is reckless, impulsive, and emblematic of a pattern of instability that has defined Porsha's life for years. The intensity of the response has reached the point where even casual mentions of Patrice's name trigger discussion threads that span days, with images, screenshots, and insider commentary fueling the fire. Insiders suggest that the stakes are higher than anyone anticipated. With Porsha's history of public relationships, reality TV exposure, and prior controversies, there is immense pressure on the current romance to withstand scrutiny. Conversations in private circles reveal that past partners, acquaintances, and even production staff from reality shows are watching closely, some with records, messages, or footage that could surface at any moment. Legal experts indicate that these materials, if released, have the potential to escalate from gossip to litigation, particularly if any private content is perceived as defamatory or violates contractual agreements. This looming threat has added tension behind the scenes, turning what was a personal romance into a high-stakes, almost courtroom-like drama. The emotional impact on Porsha herself is palpable. Despite projecting confidence and authenticity on social media, sources close to her describe moments of vulnerability, doubt, and exhaustion. The constant pressure to navigate personal desire, parental responsibility, and public judgment is unrelenting. Each new revelation, every comment thread, and viral post demands an emotional response, and even her closest allies admit that maintaining composure under such relentless scrutiny is daunting. The child in her life absorbs the ripple effects of this turbulence, navigating a world of shifting alliances, unstable routines, and the amplified drama of a life lived publicly. Psychologists observing similar cases suggest that exposure to such high-intensity environments can leave lasting emotional impressions on children, affecting their sense of security and stability. The relationship with Patrice, while affectionate in public, is now entangled with these pressures. Patrice herself is a public figure in her own right, a successful entrepreneur and mentor whose accomplishments and influence add additional layers of scrutiny. Every joint appearance, every photographed moment, and every social media interaction is analyzed and interpreted through multiple lenses: authenticity, performance, stability, and drama. Observers note that even small gestures, such as a shared smile or casual embrace, are dissected for hidden meaning, signaling potential tension or impending revelation. Beyond the immediate social media reactions, whispers of past flirtations and suggestive interactions with women, documented in earlier reality show footage and reported conversations, have resurfaced. These elements, combined with the current romance, have fueled a narrative that questions whether Porsha is genuinely evolving or repeating long-standing patterns of impulsive emotional pursuit. Every article, forum post, and online discussion feeds into this perception, amplifying the emotional stakes and casting shadows over the authenticity of the relationship. The combination of historical context and present visibility creates a scenario where each action carries multiplied significance, and the margin for error has never been smaller. The looming threat of leaks and legal consequences adds yet another dimension. Conversations with legal and media experts suggest that past communications, previously unseen footage, and even internal production notes could emerge, potentially framing Porsha in a controversial or compromising light. In the high-stakes world of celebrity exposure, even the perception of impropriety can have far-reaching consequences, affecting endorsements, public perception, and ongoing career opportunities. Social media accelerates the spread of information, accurate or otherwise, making every private moment a potential headline. The combination of celebrity, romance, and legal exposure creates an environment fraught with tension, anticipation, and emotional volatility. As the world continues to watch, the emotional narrative intensifies. Porsha's journey is no longer just about personal exploration. It has become a public case study in the collision of authenticity, fame, and consequence. Every post, every reaction, and every insider revelation carries weight, influencing perception, fueling debate, and shaping the ongoing story. The dual pressures of personal desire and public accountability intersect in ways that leave little room for error, and observers note that the drama is likely to escalate further as new revelations, commentary, and potential leaks emerge. Amid this chaos, the underlying human story remains a woman navigating love, identity, and emotional fulfillment in the glare of relentless public scrutiny. Porsha Williams and Patrice McKinney's romance is emblematic of the modern celebrity experience, intensely scrutinized, perpetually analyzed, and saturated with both admiration and judgment. The saga continues to unfold, with each day bringing new developments, further intensifying the stakes, deepening the emotional impact, and amplifying the drama for a global audience that cannot look away. The story is far from concluded, and the public, hungry for every detail, remains on edge. The next chapter promises heartbreak, confrontation, and revelations that could redefine the narrative entirely, proving once again that in the world of fame, every love story carries risk, every choice is magnified, and the consequences can be as shocking as they are unavoidable. The storm surrounding Porsha Williams and Patrice McKinney is far from over, and the next chapter promises to shatter expectations even further. Fans are on edge, social media is ablaze, and insiders whisper of secrets that could explode at any moment. Every post, every comment, every story has the potential to escalate into a headline-making scandal, and the intensity of the public gaze is relentless. Porsha's choices, her emotional pivots, and the audacity of living so publicly have turned her life into a high-stakes spectacle, where each revelation carries massive consequences. This is more than celebrity gossip. It's a study in fame, vulnerability, and the cost of authenticity under constant scrutiny. Porsha's journey exposes the fragility of human desire, the pressure of parental responsibility, and the relentless demands of a world that never lets anyone live in private. Every admirer, every critic, every fleeting comment online adds weight to an already volatile situation. The romance that began with hope, affection, and promise now teeters on the edge of chaos, magnified by past controversies, potential leaks, and a fanbase divided between love and judgment. As the drama unfolds, one thing becomes painfully clear: the stakes are impossibly high. Emotional fatigue, public scrutiny, and personal vulnerability collide in a way that could redefine the narrative entirely. Fans and onlookers are left questioning what is real, what is performative, and what will survive the next wave of exposure. Porsha Williams' life is a relentless cycle of revelation, heartbreak, and reinvention, and the world is watching every detail, waiting for the next explosive twist. Stay glued to every update because this story isn't slowing down. Every secret, every interaction, every post is a ticking time bomb of drama and emotion. Don't blink, don't scroll past, and make sure you're paying attention, because the next revelation could change everything you think you know about Porsha Williams. This saga is just heating up, and the fallout is guaranteed to be unforgettable.